In the headlines, 43 kidnapped Zamfara worshippers regain freedom. Baby, 4 women die in canoe accident in Jigawa. Chelsea sack manager to Chelsea after Dynamo Zagreb defeat. And on the foreign scene, Burundi president launches purge after warning of coup plot. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Darshan Husseina Usman. And now the news in detail. The abducted Muslim worshippers at Zugu community in Bukuyum local government area of Zamfara state have been released after payment of 5 million naira ransom and several jerrycans of petrol to the abductors. Sources from the troubled Zugu community in Bukuyum local government area, where the incident occurred last Friday, said the victims were freed Tuesday night at about 10:30 p.m. by the abductors. They said 44 persons were abducted, but 1 person died in the terrorist enclave as a result of the aftershock. The locals assisted to carry their kidnapped relatives on motorcycles from the bush, where the terrorists freed them to the main road where vehicles conveyed them home. Bakura, Bukuyum and Gumi local government area of Zamfara state have become a hotbed for terrorist attacks, killings and abduction of innocent citizens in recent times. This is as the state government has said that it had dialogued with the 9 bandits camps in Magami, Dansadao Emirate in Gusau, Maru local government areas of the state. A renowned Islamic cleric in Southeast, Sheikh Ibrahim Ioji, was shot dead on Sunday at his residence in Isu, Onitsha local government area of Ebonyi State by gunmen suspected to be members of the outlawed indigenous people of Biafra. He died Monday night at the Federal Teaching Hospital of Bakaliki, where he was taken for medical treatment. The Muslim rights concerned, while condoling with the Ebonyi State Muslims, charged the authorities to arrest and prosecute the killers. Murik, in a statement signed by the chairman of the Abuja branch, Salahuddin Ustaz Yunus, urged the government to unravel the circumstances surrounding the attack. While contacted, the police public relations officer in Ebonyi, SP Chris Anyau, said command was not aware of the incident. Some Boko Haram fighters who are escaping the military bombardment in Borno State have been attacked by their Islamic State of West African Province rivals. The military has increased its raid against insurgents on the fringes of Lake Chad. Daily Trust had earlier reported how over 200 Boko Haram fighters and their commanders were killed in a military onslaught and how floods sacked some insurgents, forcing them to relocate to east of Konduga local government area of Borno State. Some of the escapees had sought refuge in Shina village, Bama local government area of the state, but they were attacked, according to sources. The source told Daily Trust that on sighting the Boko Haram terrorists led by 2 commanders, ISWAP fighters started shooting at them. In recent weeks, the troops of 199 Special Forces Battalion, 222 Battalion Civilian Joint Task Force, in close coordination with the Air Task Force Operation Hatankai, have killed at least 250 insurgents. The Jigawa State Police Command has confirmed the death of a 7-month-old baby and 4 women in a canoe accident in Guri local government area. Confirming the incident on Wednesday, Public Relations Officer in the state, DSP Lawang Shisu, said immediately they got the information about the incident, local divers in the area were mobilized to rescue the passengers, adding that they have recovered the corpses. The PPRO said the corpses were taken to Adiani Health Facility and were certified dead by medical doctor. Shisu said the victims were all residents of Adiani village, adding that an investigation into the case has commenced. 17 governorship candidates of the People's Democratic Party from Sokoto, Kaduna, Jigawa, Katsina, Ebonyi, Ondo, and 11 others held a closed-door meeting in Port Harcourt with Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike. The PDP governorship candidates who arrived at Port Harcourt International Airport were received by Governor Nyesom Wike's closest ally, Senator Olaka Nwogu. The governorship candidates later hopped into a waiting vehicle and headed to Governor Nyesom Wike's Ada George residence for the closed-door meeting. The agenda of the meeting was not made known to journalists, but sources privy to the meeting said that the governorship candidates were in Port Harcourt to beg Wike to mend fences with the party's presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Atiku and Wike are locked in a cold war over the circumstances surrounding the emergence of Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa as the former running mate. Nigeria will become a better place if the citizens will demand quality representation and services from state governors. PDP chieftain in Ogun State, who made this known during a media chat in Lagos, said instead of concentrating on what the federal government can or cannot offer, it is imperative to hold governors accountable. The report.
PDP chieftain Segun Showunmi has tasked Nigerians to pay more attention to the subnational and hold them accountable to ensure deliverance of democracy in the country. He said the concentration on the federal government has made so many state governors to enrich themselves while offering little to the electorate. Showunmi argued that the subnational have a lot to do in the development of the country.
States must start to think about themselves almost like mini countries. They must figure out what they're going to do about their own security. That's why I talked about the biometric capture of citizens to a verifiable address. They must think about what they're going to do about work and employment. That's why I talked about the matching grant so that we can start moving people into existing businesses. They must think about how to make themselves a tourism destination. That's why I was talking about re-imaging and remarketing the state.
The PDP chieftain, who is a former spokesperson for Atiku Abubakar, said it will focus on a sustainable development plan that will, among others, empower the people, ensure security, promote quality education and health service.
So I think that the radical approach that I'm bringing is that it's time for us to now start matching our health spending to the citizen in a tangential manner where it touches them. Of course, that's not all of it, but that's completely radically different. I feel that if we do that, the next step we'll do or try to go to is to figure out a way to divide the citizens in the states to doctors that are there. Invariably, what I'm saying is that if we had 100 doctors, for instance, and we had like 2,000 citizens, then I could divide the citizens into, maybe like 100, 100, 100, or 20, 20, 20, whatever number that gives us the doctor, so that every doctor in the state knows that he has a responsibility to look after the health of those people at a cost for government.
The PDP in Ogun State has been in crisis since the conduct of primaries to elect the governorship candidates of the party in the state. Showunmi is challenging the emergence of Ladi Adebutu as the party's governorship candidate at the Supreme Court.
The Sadikin Hausawa of Egba land in Ogun State, Alhaji Ibrahim Hassan, has urged all the Hausawa leaders in the 20 local government areas of the state to be careful in their involvement in ethnic violence and shun partisan politics in order to protect their image and that of their people. He made the call during an interactive session with the Arewa leaders in the state in Abeokuta. Abbas Ibrahim Dalibi has more.
During the interactive session, which was meant to address the challenges confronting the Arewa community in the state, the Sadikin Hausawa also advised the Northerners to shun election violence.
We don't want to be saying that Hausa community, they are involved in the polling session. Anybody that come and vote, you should vote and go his house. We don't want any Hausa that we hear that you do any sort of bad things at the polling station.
On his part, the leader of Arewa community in Ogun State, Alhaji Usman Shehu Safan, said it will be wise to create database for the members of the Arewa community living in the state for security purpose.
We have a kind of comprehensive meeting so that we can have a data of our people and what they do within the community they are. And of course, you know that recently there are a lot of issues about the country, particularly on security matters. And then that's what made it fit for us to come down here and meet the Sirikis and tell them the reason why we should be one united, the reason why we should have the kind of leaders in various capacities. And I believe doing this, we equally give the state a speedy peace, which we are enjoying.
The Special Assistant to Ogun State Governor on Ethnic Affairs, Malam Hadi Sani, said the interactive session with the traditional rulers of the Arewa community and other stakeholders is paramount due to the issue regarding security in the country.
Some couple of months ago, we had some certain issues of domestic activities, like we have a huge number of influx about people from the north, especially through the trucks. It has generated a whole lot of arguments, and as the representative and leaders of this community, we have to make sure we look inward. We immediately switch into action by going into each communities, especially those communities that those trucks will land to, like Ogere and other areas. We address them that we have to regulate it as a result of the insecurity nature of the country.
He called on those residing in the state not to be allowed to be used as political tools by selfish politicians.
The governor of Kebbi State, Atiku Bagudu, has approved the dissolution of Kebbi State Executive Council with effect from Wednesday, September 7, 2022. This was contained in a statement by the Secretary to the State Government, Babale Yauri. Yauri said the governor appreciated the individual contributions of each member of the dissolved cabinet and thanked them for their dedication to the development of the state during their respective tenures, while further commending all the members of the dissolved council of their performance. A reconstituted state executive council will be announced soon, with some of the members of the dissolved council as well as others outside the dissolved council. You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break. Commercial motorcycle riders lament rising cost of living. Do stay with us.
Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Let's take a look at some of our top stories. We told you that 43 kidnapped Zamfara worshippers regained freedom. We also heard that 4 women die in canoe accident in Jigawa. Moving to more news, the Zamfara state government is to return 50,000 naira to each of the 1,318 pilgrims who performed this year's pilgrimage. A statement from the Office of Secretary of the State Government, Kabiru Balarabe, said Governor Bello Muhammad had directed the State Hajj Commission to ensure speedy compliance to the directive. It further said already the Commission has scheduled the payment to commence on Monday, September 12, 2022 at each of the 14 local government areas of the state. The affected pilgrims are therefore advised to go to the local government area where they will collect the 50,000 naira starting from Monday, September 12, 2022. The statement said the gesture is part of the state government's relief measure to ease economic hardship being faced in the country. Goods worth millions of naira reportedly lost on a daily basis due to the deplorable condition of Lambata to Bida Road in Niger State. Motorists and residents in towns and communities around the road, which connects the northern part of the country to the south, has been in a deplorable state for the past 10 years. The report.
The 124.8-kilometer Lambata-Lapai Agaye-Bida Road is one of the strategic federal roads in Nigeria. The road was said to be first constructed by the civilian regime of Alhaji Shehu Usman Shagari in the 1980s and rehabilitated by the General Sani Abacha-led federal government under the Petroleum Trust Fund Intervention Project. But in spite of being one of the strategic routes in the country, the road is yet to receive the desired attention from the federal government, which awarded contract for the construction of the Lambata-Lapai Agaye and Bida Road since 2018. President Muhammadu Buhari, during the commissioning of a warehouse in Barrow Port in 2018, also listed the road as one of the major federal road projects. But 7 years after, the state of the road has remained the same. Motorists, especially heavy-duty vehicles who ply the road regularly, have been trapped on the road due to gridlock occasioned by persistent rainfall that has worsened the already deteriorated condition of the road. It has been on another scale in the last 2 weeks as several goods, including agricultural produce, animals among others, have been lost while trading activities in the major markets in the towns that border the area and other parts of the country have also been affected. Residents of communities along the road said between 2018 and date, certain portions of the road were cut off, making traveling difficult for road users.
Because of the bad road, there are some other things where there are some trailers when fall down and they're blocking the road, and the road purposely for the bad road. Okay. Yeah, the road is not good. Okay. It's more than 8 years now when they are saying they have already given the contract for the people who they are going to repair it.
The gridlock also constitutes health risks to the communities and towns around the road, as travelers and drivers trapped in the gridlock were said to have converted the roadside drainages and canals to defecation sites, which constituted serious health hazards. Some of the drivers who spoke with Trust TV said the only road which serves as an alternative to ply from the north to south has resulted in the loss of goods worth millions of naira as their vehicles fall on a regular basis. On September 3, 2021, heavy-duty vehicle drivers blocked the Lambata to Bida Road to protest over the deplorable condition of the road.
Commercial motorcycle riders in Bajoga town, one of the largest commercial hubs in Gombe State, say the current economic situation across the country is taking a toll on their business. Speaking to Trust TV, one of the riders said he used to generate 5,000 naira daily, but now the narrative has changed. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
Muhammad Umar is a breadwinner to his 11-member family. The Okada rider said 3 years back he earned up to 6,000 naira daily, but things have changed in the commercial city of Bajoga. To be honest, the commercial activities in the past are better than that of these days. Even though I don't know the reason for the decline, commercial transport services also reduced. Routine services from here to Ashaka has declined. Uber also pointed out that the dwindling income for commercial riders in Bajoga may not be unconnected to decline in economic activities during the rainy season in the city. Other riders also speak on the impact of the current economic situation on their operation. The work used to be very lucrative, but now the activities have declined. It is because of the rainy season, but we thank Allah. Things were better in previous years. We used to make 4,000, 5,000, some make 3,000 naira. You won't lack what to feed your family. This is how the work is. Maybe it is because of the rainy season. Bajoga, headquarters of Funakai local government area, is the second largest commercial city in northern part of Gombe State, after the state capital, Gombe. Commercial Okada riders also battle fuel price hike, sold between 198 naira and 220 naira per litre. This comes as the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) said the country's inflation rate in July was 19.64%, the highest rate since September 2005, making life difficult to many Nigerians. Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
Indigents of Erinle community in Oyun local government area of Kwara State have urged the state government to implement the 2018 Supreme Court judgment concerning the age-long Offa Erinle land dispute. Speaking with journalists in Ilorin, the people under the ages of Erinle Progressive Union advised the state government to desist from its current attempt at recreating another boundary between Offa and Erinle to avert anarchy. The two neighboring communities in Kwara State had for years clashed over communal land matter, leading to loss of lives and property. The National Legal Advisor, Erinle Progressive Union, Amos Adewoye, said that the recent constitution of a committee of mediators for peace is an attempt to rewrite the Supreme Court judgment. Adewoye, represented by Muhyiddin Bello, added that the state government, by its current action, is embarking on a path of anarchy.
To draw global attention to the illegal, condemnable, unacceptable, and highly provocative attempt by the Kwara State government to thwart the Supreme Court judgment on the Erinle community's boundary of a community, handed down on the 14th December 2018. You will recall that shortly after the delivery of that judgment, and subsequently, we have had to address you on the need for the Kwara State government to toe the path of civility by enforcing the same and putting all accusations to rest. Sadly, the state government has chosen to flagrantly embark on the path of anarchy by attempting, through the constitution of a kangaroo committee of mediators for peace between Erinle and Offa towns over land dispute, to rewrite the Supreme Court's judgment and impose its own whims and caprices, to establish an illegal and unconstitutional boundary between the two communities.
On the international scene, Burundi's President Evariste Ndayishimiye on Wednesday sacked his prime minister and a top aide in a high-level purge after warning of a coup plot against him. At an urgent parliamentary session, lawmakers approved the appointment of Security Minister Gervais to replace Bunyoni in a unanimous 113-0 vote. The former Army General replaced Alain Guillaume Bunyoni and Civilian Chief of Staff General Gabriel Nizigama on a day of high drama in the troubled Central African country. Ndayishimiye, who has been in power for just over 2 years, gave no reason for Bunyoni's dismissal, but last week warned of a coup plot. And finally, in sports, Chelsea have sacked manager Thomas Tuchel after the team's disappointing start to the season, which continued with a defeat in the European opener. Tuchel has paid the ultimate price for the Blues' inconsistent start to the campaign, with Tuesday's 1-0 loss to Dynamo Zagreb in the Champions League proving to be the final straw for the Stamford Bridge board. Chelsea have picked up 10 points from 5 games so far this season after spending the most of any club in the transfer markets. Tuchel also won the Champions League in 2021 with the club, subsequently winning the UEFA Super Cup and the Club World Cup. And with this, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Remember to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Thanks for watching.